Thank you, Leandro. This presentation actually consists of 3 parts, but in interest of time, I shall skip the first part, which is presenting the IUPSM, because it pretty much covers what James kindly showed us earlier today. So we shall start with the introduction of the roles of the IFMBE and
all right. Thank you. I think this the goal of IFMBE already presented by our president, Professor Krishna Shankar, this morning. It's very clear to create the application and the development and the cooperation. That's our goal. And I would like to focus something which we have IFMBE program and the opportunity for early career developments, including education training, award honorable, and especially I will try to introduce some model which may help the earlier career of the biomedical engineering. So regarding the education, we have some summer school, including the WIC in the UK by Professor Leandro in 2015. And also we have summer school in Latin America in initial in 2017. And we have a coming Asian Pacific winter school just in the next January in Thailand. This is in the Bogota, Colombia, and 3 different areas in the world. And we have a student project competition. I think everywhere have that, but we have a different conference supported by IFMBE, have the student paper competition, and also in Czech for World Congress 2018, and also Best Paper Award student in Taipei, Taiwan. So that's also including Europe and Asian Pacific. I would like to introduce one of very good idea about the medical device design competition. Seems supported by the Asian Pacific Working Group around 2014. We focus on the graduates and the undergraduate students, and also focus on the medical devices. And we would like to focus on the two. The one is healthcare and for the low resource care community. And also we encourage students to work on the low cost, easy to development. Those are the criteria. So the student participate in this competition should be work on those features. And it's endorsed by IFMBE. We would like to lead the student focus on clinical driving and the client center. So that's the focus. Okay, this is the example that is established in 2016 in Hong Kong, and there are around 39 submissions from 10 countries in Asian Pacific. And only 17 teams have the final oral present. They come from Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, Thailand to go to the Hong Kong, have that. And the next year in Taipei, we also encourage many people here to, these all are the IFMBE member, professor as a judgment. And 2018 in Hong Kong again. And the next one is just like coming December in Singapore. For the earlier career competitions, we have a Young Investigator Award, and we have an IAMB Early Career Award, and also some other awards to help the young or the early career scientists to promote themselves based on our support. Okay, that's good help for them. And for trainings, we also encourage many seniors professors to help developing countries, such as we asking Japan, Singapore, Hong Kong, and the Taiwan professor to go to the Mongolia in Ulaanbaatar to establish the first international conference developed for the biomedical engineering. So that's a very good help for them, especially for those young students. And we also have a workshop in ICBME, that's in Singapore, first workshop in 2013, including the Education, Biomedical and Technology University of Stoeva, and also from Indonesia, from United Kingdom, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Singapore. So we put all the senior professors together to exchange the different areas idea, and we establish another working plan or action plan. So there are another working group, workshop in 2015 in Singapore. They are inviting the Professor Ursno Amdanza from Italy, myself from Taiwan, and Professor Erb. He passed away, but he provides a very valuable idea about the clinical engineering, and also from Hong Kong, from Colombia, that's Masa Zakira, and from Singapore. So those ideas will close the continentals. I would like to show some awards. This is the first Clinical Engineering Division Award in 2015 in Hangzhou. That's the same conference, ICEHTMC. And also I would like to introduce one of very good model we call Asian Pacific Research Networking Fellowship. That's starting from the 2006 by Professor James Coate. The idea is focused to link all the Asian Pacific working groups' purpose. So we would like to show something which is to establish the long-term collaboration and operation for the young biomedical engineering. And it's with the mentor and the training for young biomedical engineering for the leadership, and also ensure leadership renewal program in place. So what's called young? We select those fellowship young career person under 40, and each of the society, local society, should support their traveling cost, and then arrange a program by locally, and participate in the local seminar at each of the country for 1 or 2 or 3 days, and go to the World Congress, make a report, and publish in the IFMBE News. This is the first year, program in SWORD. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 countries participate that. All the program goes through 14 days. Each of the person should be meet together and traveling together, and finally go to the SWORD to present their. This is James Coate to initiate that. It's quite young. It's around 14 years ago. And this is the second part. Is 2009 in Munich. Also, they moved from South Korea, Taiwan, Japan, Singapore, and then to the Munich, traveling for 16 days. And this is the third one. They went to Beijing and traveling for 12 days this fall. And this is at the Toronto 2015, traveling for 13 days. This is just like that year, they traveling from 14 days. Each of them, I would like to show the outcome here. In 2006, here, Yongping Zheng Yongping. He is an associate professor. Now he is the head of the professor in biomedical engineering in Hong Kong. And he also the president of biomedical engineering in Hong Kong Society. He was, okay, this is the young, and then now he looks like this one. That's the 14 years ago. The second one is the program manager supported by Singapore Society, but now he is the professor in Melbourne. This person looks young. He is assistant professor during the traveling 2009, and now he is the deputy head and the professor. He in charge the whole College of Engineering, and not only just push biomedical engineering department, but link mechanical engineering department, chemical engineering department together to work on the biomedical engineering. So this looks like this now. And also this very important person. He was professor during that time, but now he is the distinguished professor and discipline coordinator working with the Ministry of Science and the Technology in Taiwan. Is a key person to decide the policy and the supporting funding budget. This is another associate professor, now is a professor in Japan. And this is another young person. One is an associate professor, but now is a full professor and the Secretary General in Taiwan Biomedical Engineering Society. This is the research associate, but now is assistant professor in Japan in university. So they moved from different area to, they moved to different area and go to the conference. So they connect each other locally and support by local society. So we come out many good idea working together for that. So that's what we would like to say. Just like Yatin Devi present, if you move, if you want to go fast, you go around. If you want to go far, you have to go together. So the Asian Pacific region, we have Indonesia, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Thailand, Vietnam, South Korea, Taiwan, Japan. Even we will invite the Philippines, work together. We help together locally. I would like to show this model is good for transfer this idea to Latin America, East European, or some other good like Africa regions. That would be very helpful and develop for the whole young career, early career peoples. Yeah, that's it. That's my part.
Okay, thank you. So now it's about the time to present the IOMP initiatives in the field of young chapter. But before starting with this, let me just briefly introduce IOMP because I'm sure it is not well recognized by the audience of the medical engineering and biomedical engineering events. So IOMP is the International Organization for Medical Physics, and we are the sister organization of IFMBE under the umbrella of IUPSM. And similarly to IFMBE, IOMP has its main objectives directed towards cooperation, communication, advancement of medical physics, support for national and international organizations and events, and various activities within the development to help improve the medical physics practice all over the world and eventually contribute to healthcare. I shall use pretty much the same template to present IOMP's activities, although while comparing IOMP and IFMBE, we noticed that there are certain areas where we overlap in our initiatives, but there are many areas where we can learn from each other and complement to each other. So now this is just step number 2 from our common workshops, and we still present IOMP and IFMBE as separate organizations, but I really hope that within a year from now we can come out with one presentation for both organizations, and there will be no need to define whether this is for the engineering or for the physical part. So let me start with the education and training. Time is quite limited, so I'll try to be as quick as possible. So education and training at IOMP. The main initiative we have is the so-called IOMP school. It started in 2016 during the ICMP conference in Bangkok. It was quite well accepted by the audience. This is a way for well-developed professionals to reach young, and not only young, professionals from all over the world, practically at no expense for the participants of the school. So after the 2016 school in Bangkok, we did another one a year later in Jaipur, and then another school last year during the World Congress in Prague. So the next initiative that is very helpful for the development of the medical physics profession worldwide is the Medical Physics College. I will not speak more about this because Slavik and Renato's presentation was excellent on this, and I think they outlined all the major points associated with the Medical Physics College. And apart from the Medical Physics College, we do have some other initiatives that are related to it, as the International Day of Medical Physics, that this year is dedicated to medical physics worldwide. I shall speak a little bit about this later if we have enough time. And one of the latest common initiatives are the IEA IOMP webinars, which are targeting practical aspects of the application of medical physics in healthcare. These are examples of the 2 last webinars that took place during the past months. So this is just a reference to what Adriana mentioned in her talk, that IOMP has quite well developed relations with IEA, and we are still new with our links to the WHO, but hopefully they will develop in the future with the help of IFMBE, who have already paved the way towards this. Then we move to the awards and honors part. We do have a set of standard awards that are meant to distinguish medical physicists for various types of contributions to our profession, starting from Marie Curie Award for distinguished scientists. Then we have the Harold Jones Medal to honor scientists for their excellence, particularly in teaching and contribution to international education, which we believe is a key aspect in growing the young professionals and giving them the right direction for their career later on. And the third one is the John Mellert Award, which is for particularly for innovation of high scientific quality. And we do have the Fellow of IOMP Award and the IDMP Award, which is given every year at the International Day of Medical Physics, which is, by the way, the 7th of November, just approaching. We have one specific award. So these are some pictures from award ceremonies. We have one specific award, however, which is dedicated particularly to young scientists. So it is a common award that is established and funded actually by the IUPAP, which is the International Union for Pure and Applied Physics. And it is given every year to a young medical physicist for his or her contribution in the development of medical physics, This is a screenshot of the IUPAP website listing the awardees from 2006 when the award was established until this year. So you see quite a good number of awardees. Some of them have already grown up in their profession and taking leadership roles in various organizations related to medical physics around the world. Another one of these awardees, Dr. Hasford, will be presenting remotely in the last session today. Actually, he is the very last speaker of today's event. And just to mention that apart from recognizing the achievements of our young physicists, we also recognize the contribution of our experienced colleagues. So 2013, during the ICMP, which took place in Brighton, in UK, IOMP started an initiative dedicated to 50 years of IOMP's establishment, and 50 professionals have been selected from the medical physicists with greatest contribution to be acknowledged for the IOMP's 50th anniversary. So we are working both in directions of recognizing achievements of new and more experienced colleagues as well. And some other initiatives, IDMP, which I already mentioned, that's the International Day of Medical Physics, that's the birthday of Marie Curie. This is why we have selected it. This year, IDMP is dedicated to the medical physics around the world. And the reason is that we celebrate 35 years from the establishment of IOMP's bulletin, which is called Medical Physics World. So we decided at IUPSM to select the topic for this year's IDMP and call it It's a Medical Physics World, because if it's not, at least this is what we want to be. I'm happy to announce it because I'm happy to be the editor-in-chief of the bulletin for 2 consecutive terms. And I think it's quite important for IOMP and for our members, and it has always been during all these 35 years. In terms of publications, we offer a good stage for young people to publicize in Medical Physics World, which is the official bulletin, in Medical Physics International, which is the official journal of IOMP, and we do have the Medical Physics and Biomedical Engineering book series that are published by CRC Press from Taylor and Francis Group. And recently started new initiative, the Focus series, which are meant for fast turnaround publications for small books on hot topics. I think this is something really advanced and hopefully will give good feedback and good material to our members, and not only our members, because we are targeting a more interdisciplinary environment. Events, IOMP, of course, is part of the IUPSM World Congress, and on the international level, we organize every 3 years the International Conference on Medical Physics, which was just last month in Chile. And we do have regional conferences organized by our 6 regional organizations on an annual basis. Apart from this, there are various national conferences and specific conferences on different topics, as well as IOMP is presented on different international events organized by our partnering organizations. So with this, I would like to thank you, and I would like also to use the occasion to thank you for attending this workshop and for your support, because this is really a very new initiative for IUPSM. And we really rely on your support to grow it in the future and hopefully turn into something very useful for all of us. Okay, thank you.